What are 3 things I wish I knew when I was struggling with hormonal weight gain? Stay tuned to today's video to find out. Welcome back. My name is Sarah. This is the Sarah Kleiner Wellness YouTube channel, and today I'm going to talk about the 3 things I really wish I knew when I was struggling with hormonal weight gain. Now, here's a picture of me in 2020 when I really just gained 20 pounds out of nowhere. I had been following a carnivore diet for 2 years very strictly. I had been implementing a lot of fasting, and I just gained 20 pounds, and it was like, wait a second. So you mean to tell me I'm not going out binging on sugar and, you know, carbs or whatever, and I'm gaining all this weight? How the heck is this possible? So this is an after picture, and this is from November of 2021. So it took me all that time to figure this out. That's why I want to make a quick little video to share this with you. And then here is a picture of me yesterday, because some people will say, okay, great before and after, but how have you maintained the weight? So I had a pregnancy in between that 2021 picture and this picture from yesterday. I just snapped it in my bathroom. I was out laying out in my yard and ran into his bathroom. I was like, oh, okay, let me snap a picture. So I was able to implement the things I'm talking about in this video and get back to pre-baby body in 10 months, which is crazy because with my daughter, when I was 28 years old, I had to go to the gym, I had to diet, I had to do a lot of extreme things to lose the weight after my daughter at age 28. And at age 44, I've simply been following the principles from my 21-day leptin reset. I did it starting 2nd trimester, I did it 3rd trimester, and I've done it since my son was born. I did it pre-pregnancy, and I have not done a lot of extreme dieting at all. I haven't really even gotten back into exercising the way that I want to yet. Maybe a little bit of walking, but not even any weights just yet. I do plan on doing some weights, but I've been able to go back to this place and have good sleep, hormones back regulated back to 28-day cycles, even with breastfeeding, which is pretty crazy. And so I really want to share about these things because I think that we get told, especially after 40, when you start getting in that perimenopause age, that things have to be uncomfortable, they have to be hard, you're going to deal with, you know, painful cycles, or they're going to start becoming really irregular, you're going to start having trouble sleeping, moodiness, all that stuff. So I really want to do this video so that people can see that there's a different way to address some of these things. So first of all, before I get into these 3 things, I want to let you know I do have a pinned comment under this video for my 21-day course. It's a coupon, so it's only going to be good for the next 48 hours. So if you listen to this video and you think, you know what, let me just give this a shot, I want to try what she's doing, I do have a coupon that's only going to be good for the next 48 hours that's pinned in the top comment of this post. So go ahead and grab that if it's something you're interested in. All right, what's the first thing I wish I knew? Here we are 3 minutes in. First thing I wish I knew was that lots of chronic dieting and chronic restriction can actually make you become leptin resistant. Now, that sounds crazy. Like I said, I had been doing a long-term carnivore. I'd been doing a lot of fasting, never really eating anything until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. My fasting glucose was in the 100s, and I was like, wait a second. So yes, you can put your body in a state of stress from long-term calorie restriction. I think with carb restriction also, I know a lot of people will say that's not possible, and they'll tell me what supplements you should be trying and taking and to make it work. But honestly, if you want to go that route, go for it. I did try a lot of things to not have to stray away from carnivore, and honestly, none of them worked. Trust me, I had a lot of people telling me, do iodine, do boron, do B1, do this and that, and electrolytes, and it didn't really seem to matter what I tried. That stubborn weight would not budge. So that's number 1. So if I had known that, then it might not have taken me so long to be open-minded about shifting away from that chronic dieting and chronic fasting mindset. The second thing I wish I knew is that your lifestyle really matters, and your circadian rhythms it matters almost as much as your food. And I know that sounds really crazy, but if you have been paying attention to this channel, I've had a lot of people on to talk about things like cellular hydration, the water network in your body, circadian rhythms, and how every single cell and organ system in your body has a circadian clock in front of it, including your hormones. So if you have poor circadian health, if you're waking up every day looking straight at your phone, you have no idea of what time of day it is because your phone is basically signaling your brain and your body that it is noon in the middle of June. So if you're doing that every day, your circadian rhythm is going to be messed up. So circadian rhythms are really an underrated thing when it comes to getting your body in a place where your body feels safe and that your hormones have the proper signals. Your mitochondria are always looking for signals as well. So mitochondria are like very important. They're like the engines that kind of run the energy management system of your body. So if your mitochondria are not getting the correct signals because your light environment is a mess, you're surrounded by non-native EMF all the time, and your cells are constantly dehydrated, right? Then it's going to be a lot more difficult for your hormones to regulate and your body to feel safe enough to let go of that excess weight. So a very underrated thing that I did that actually got the needle moving and sped things up very quickly was minding my circadian health. And you can do this if you have kids, if you have a busy job. There are ways around this. There are ways to mitigate this. This is what I talk about a lot in my free guide, which I'll put in the links as well as in all my courses. But it's a hugely underrated thing when it comes to weight loss and weight loss resistance. The third thing kind of goes back with number one, but this chronic restriction, chronic fasting, what ends up happening with a lot of people is a low T3 situation or a low thyroid situation. Some people can be completely asymptomatic with low T3, except for they may be struggling with weight loss resistance. That was me. I didn't have cold hands and feet. I didn't have a lot of the common thyroid symptoms. I didn't have any hair thinning. I had no eyebrow thinning. I didn't have the dry skin. So the dry skin can be a big one. But again, in these states where we are chronically in a state where we're not doing any sort of variation, seasonal variation, for me, that looked like one day a week where I had some seasonal carbohydrates, right? And for some people, that looks like maybe having some seasonal carbohydrates the week before their cycle and the other 3 weeks of the month doing more of a keto carnivore approach, right? So when I talk about this, I think a lot of people assume that the way I reversed my leptin resistance was to do like a Ray Peat style where I'm drinking orange juice and Mexican Coke. No, that was definitely not it. But this is where I see a lot of people struggling with the weight loss resistance is that they don't understand that a lot of cortisol, a lot of stress, what this does is it down regulates your thyroid. It actually stops that T4 to T3 conversion. And that's very well researched in the literature when you see T4, T3 conversion going down with chronic stress, with a lot of chronic fasting, a lot of just putting too much on your body. And men can get away with this a lot longer than women can. But if you see a female influencer that they're like, I'm, doing strict carnivore, I've been doing it for a long time. I watch people, I also notice little things like thinning eyebrows or that they're always having to do 20,000 steps a day or go to these extreme exercises or they're always, moving, doing exercises. And I'm not hating on anybody if that's a lifestyle that they want to live. But I really want to talk to the everyday person who watches these people and thinks, I should be doing this, but I'm doing it. I'm not losing weight. I'm actually gaining weight. I actually feel like my metabolism has slowed down. And they're in this place where they have some leptin resistance, right? Which is really the crux of the hormonal weight gain, because leptin resistance is when the stored energy on your body is unable to communicate with your brain. And it's because your body is not getting the proper signals of light. You're not getting the proper signals with food at the right times of day. And then you're also not having any variation. So for your leptin levels to be at a good place, what I see with people in this number 3 in this situation and what happened with me is that my leptin actually went really low because of never varying my diet at all. Now, I don't want to demonize these diets at all, carnivore or keto, like some people do, because I do see a lot of value in them and they helped me tremendously and I still use them strategically. I haven't used them super crazy strategically because it's been summertime. I have just been kind of following the precepts, the concepts of my 21-day course. And again, this is me 10 months postpartum with my son, and I have not done 10,000 steps a day, I haven't done 20,000 steps a day or CrossFit. I have just really been very consistent with giving my body the proper signals of light, the proper signals of protein and nutrition, and putting on those blue blockers at night, blocking artificial light at night. Those things have been super helpful for me. So again, just a quick little video to talk about this. If you're struggling with weight loss resistance, check out some of the things in the pinned comment. There's a free guide to building your perfect quantum day, as well as that coupon code that's going to be good for 48 hours only. I typically don't discount my 21-day course unless it is Black Friday, so this is good for 2 days. So check it out in the pinned comment if you're interested in trying it out. And I hope this was helpful. I'll see you in the next video.